Welcome back to another segment of Behind the Scenes of the Waltons. Today I'm taking more of your questions on a segment of Ask Judy. If you are enjoying these, please do hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when the next one posts, and feel free to share with anyone you think might enjoy. As we're into the holiday season, I thought I might just share a little bit about what went on around the Walton cast crew set around the holidays. At Thanksgiving, I think we typically had a 4-day weekend. You know, we had Thanksgiving off Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend. We never filmed on weekends. So much like most people in many other jobs. At Christmas, I think sometimes we had a week. We had 9 seasons, so I don't remember if we ever had more than a week. It may have depended a bit on when Christmas was, what day of the week it was. But we didn't have a long Christmas break. And then we were right back to work. Our season we usually filmed from about the end of May or right around June through till I think about the end of February or into March. And then we had 3 months off for hiatus before we came back for the next season. So that was kind of the general schedule around there. And you know, it wasn't like they really decorated the set or anything like that because those were working sets. So we didn't really decorate the soundstage particularly. Maybe the makeup room might put up a few decorations or stuff like that. If we did Christmas episodes, those were usually filmed in the late summer or early fall, like around September, October maybe, because those needed to air Thanksgiving or Christmas time. So consequently, we were often shooting those in really the worst heat of the summer, and there we were pretending it was cold and snowy and windy and everything. So that was a little brutal, having all those heavy clothes on for takes. But you know, that's what you did. So we might be decorating Christmas trees and singing Christmas carols in September, October. So what the heck? You know, it was fun. Felt like the holidays started early. I worked with so many people, so it was a lot of extra Christmas shopping because I always got something for everyone in the cast. And then there were the kids. We would usually kind of come up with something for the crew, whether we do like a big sort of stocking and everybody could pull something out, or whether we would gather up, do some sort of a meal or a treat kind of thing for the crew. So we always tried to do something for the crew because they were like family too. And then we would have a cast and crew Christmas party. That would typically be on one of the sound stages, usually not ours, stage 26, but one of the other sound stages that we sometimes used. And it would be decorated, so there would be a tree, and it would just kind of be a party for cast and crew and you know, spouses. Not a lot of kids came. It was mostly the grown-ups and the cast who were kids. I don't think that wasn't so much where gifts were handed out or anything like that. It was more just a party, food and music and that kind of thing. And then that was where they would show a blooper reel that had been edited together from the season. It would be just things that had gone wrong, things that had intentionally been planned. So at different times, yes, cast members would cook up bloopers and plan those. And I think I've talked about, you know, when John Ritter was working on the show, he and Richard Thomas would cook up things, or people would have fun when something went wrong, or, you know, they'd comment on airplanes going over, or, you know, Richard and Will Geer mooned a tour bus, you know, so there was odds and ends of things, but a lot of it was just things that were funny to us, or, you know, somebody flubbed a line a whole bunch of times, and so they'd have a series of those. And I don't have them, you know, they were on film at that point, so it wasn't like we had discs of them or VHS tapes. The VHS was the first thing that came out, so we weren't given those. And then by the time, you know, DVDs were out, the series was over. So I never had them. I don't know where they are. I'm not sure where they were left. I think there's a few clips that maybe are on YouTube. And Richard Thomas, I think, may have had some of the reels at some point. I'm not sure if he still does. I'm not sure what he did with it. So that's what I know about it. So those were kind of our Walton traditions. And sometimes the cast would have some sort of outside stuff together. We did the Hollywood Christmas parade a number of times. One year we did it in the old truck, and the old truck broke down along Hollywood Boulevard, and we had to get out and go hop on some float that was ahead of us or behind us, and nobody knew who we were. So we did that. So we would sometimes do Christmas parades around the holidays, or different things like that. And we probably had music at our Christmas parties too. I don't know if John ever played and sang. I always loved the holidays, so it was always fun for me to have such a big group of people that I loved being around to sort of celebrate with. This is from CJ. He said, I love all the episodes that Ralph Waite directed. I understand that he did some terrific stuff. The use of humor in a scene to the unique camera angles he used made the episode feel authentic. On the series, there were old photos displayed on the fireplace mantle, on the walls in different rooms, and displayed on the desk in the house. When the series required old photos, where do these photos come from? Are these real family photos from Earl Hamner or just studio prop photos? Are actors ever asked to bring old photos of themselves from their childhood if a scene needed it? I'm not sure where the photos on the set came from. I never really thought much about it because they weren't of us. So I didn't really study them particularly. They may have just been props, or some of them may have been things from Earl's family. I frankly just never really asked. As far as, I don't remember there being a time on the Waltons that they needed a picture of me, but I know I worked on a mini-series, Lost Daughter, and there was supposed to be family photos. I was playing Richard Chamberlain's wife in some flashback sequences. His wife had died in a horse accident, and so there were supposed to be some pictures at, I think, the funeral or something. And so they had asked me for some pictures, and because it was being shot in a different city than where I was living, they needed to put these pictures together for some scenes before I arrived to film. So they had me send some pictures, and then they had somebody wear the wardrobe that I was going to wear, and they took some pictures of her, and then they photoshopped my face into those photos. So they were able to do it that way. So that type of thing can happen where, just Photoshop sort of things happen if they need to recognize a person. Sometimes if you see photos of an actor I was just talking about the episode where John Boy's on the front page of the newspaper. They had a picture of Robert Whiteman, and they, created that based on that. So those types of things definitely happen. And then from Joanna, she said, thanks for explaining your typical day, Judy. You're welcome. I hadn't considered everything that went into the filming of the episodes and stuff. A lot of work for everyone involved. A couple of follow-up questions. What type of scenes were your favorite to film? Inside, outside, all the family, just a couple of other people? I think it kind of depended. A lot of the stuff with the family was fun. I think we talked about that the stuff in the kitchen when we had a lot of scenes one after another with the eating scenes, not so much. I always loved stuff with music. I thought that was fun. And depending on the weather, sometimes it was nice being outside. Sometimes it was just hot and uncomfortable or cold. What often happened was because we filmed in advance of the season, we'd end up shooting winter stuff in the summer or early fall when it was really hot. So we'd be wearing coats and stuff like that when it was super hot. And then in the winter when it was colder, even in California, or as what sort of is considered cold in California, we'd be doing summer stuff. And so we'd be, in shirt sleeves or short sleeves. So those types of things are challenging, I find, as an actor, temperature-wise. So those aren't always so fun. I always loved the stuff with the horses for me to get to go and do that. I liked being on location. I always thought that was fun. So when we went out to Fraser Park or Franklin Canyon, if we got to stay over up near Fraser Park and shoot a couple days, that was fun because it just felt different. It was something kind of fun. Certain guest stars were a lot of fun to work with. So sometimes I'd really enjoy when we had a week with somebody in particular on set. Those could be fun. So, but we just had so much fun together that really, we managed to make it all, a pleasant experience. So then, let's see. Also, I've noticed there are some episodes where some of the actors don't appear at all, most noticeably David Harper and Mary Mcdonough. What might be some reasons they were not in these episodes? I think David might have missed one episode. I know I missed one episode. The reason I missed an episode was it was around the time of the grandchild. So there was a point where they came to me and they just let me know that they didn't know always the air dates of shows. And the airing of the 2-part episode where I had the grandchild, where I had the baby, John Curtis, they weren't exactly sure when CBS wanted to air that. So there was the possibility that this one episode they were shooting might air either before the grandchild aired or after. So they didn't know whether the character of Mary Ellen should be pregnant or not. If it aired before, I should be pregnant. If it aired after, I wasn't supposed to be pregnant. So they had this one episode that they said, we can't have you in it. We're going to write your character out of it because then it can air either way. So that was the only episode I wasn't in. So if you think you didn't see somebody in an episode, it could be that if you're watching it now on MeTV or INSP or something like that, I know that they shorten the episodes and they edit out certain things to add more commercials and things like that. So it could be that the one scene that Mary or David or I were in got edited out somehow. The scene got shortened, something happened. But otherwise, basically, we were all in. The children, the kids, the Walton kids, we were all in every episode. That's what I have for this segment of Ask Judy. I'll be back with more behind the scenes of the Waltons and more Ask Judy. Thanks for watching.